Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson, and my guests are Ben Montgomery and Paige Davis from the World Bird Sanctuary. Thank you again for being here, and thank you for bringing more friends to join us today on set. So in the first segment, we talked about these new educational experiences, which are great, which offer really up-close and personal hands-on experience with the birds at the World Bird Sanctuary. Now we're going to get into Halloween.
Yes.
You have a Halloween-themed event coming up on the 27th. Tell me more about
Yes,
it.
we call it Owloween because we just love owls so much.
You just love owls.
Yes.
They're here. You love owls.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You might say it's a real hoot. We have all.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I snuck that in there. Okay. Yeah. Right. We have live animal shows at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. and these shows are meant to introduce animals that you'd find in the forest, and specifically the kind of animals who might be scary, but who actually perform great services for us and for a balanced ecosystem and environment. And so we want to dispel some of the misunderstandings about those animals. So that's really, I don't want to give too much away, obviously.
Yeah, no, I've got a list of stuff. Well, we've got some footage of just kind of what in general happens when you come out to the World Bird Sanctuary, and I'd love to show that B-roll while we're talking about it. This is going to be a specific Halloween-themed one. So we've got a trick-or-treat, a haunted hike. Is that correct?
That's going to be a lot of fun too. So you will actually tell jokes to get candy on this hike.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was very popular last year as well, and you can walk part or all of the hike if you want, and I think it's going to be a good time.
Okay, we've got their story time as well as, so what happens with the stories?
Well, we like to read stories and engage people's imagination. Halloween is all about imagination, so that's sort of the theme that we want to play on.
So this is basically taking the whole idea of Halloween, but just making something that's like a family-friendly event to get people out to the World Bird Sanctuary. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And make it about owls because we just love them so much.
Because you just love owls. Speaking of owls, let's go ahead and talk about who we have. Let's maybe start with you, Paige. My gosh, I mean, absolutely beautiful. Who is this?
This is Bogart, and he's a Eurasian eagle owl, one of the top 3 largest owl species in the entire world. And they are species that you can see in the Harry Potter films, so a lot of people recognize them. And of course, he's got those absolutely beautiful, piercing orange eyes, so he's really incredible to see up close.
He's, I mean, absolutely beautiful, and his eyes are beautiful. What does Bogart, I have to ask, eat? Like when you're, what does he eat? What does he hunt?
Sure. Well, at the bird sanctuary, we do try to mimic their natural diet, so he gets a lot of rodent like rat and mice. Sometimes he has rabbit. In the wild, they'll even kill small deer, so they're incredibly powerful. And you know, that wouldn't be a staple of their diet, but it is just a really unique prey item that they're on record taking.
Wow, so up to a size,
little. He has a lot to say too, I guess.
Is that a stretch?
A little stretch there, yeah.
A little stretch. And so on a smaller scale, another but equally beautiful,
a
who's
much
this?
smaller animal, but you know, if you were a mouse, it wouldn't really matter, right? So this is Data, and he is an eastern screech owl, and this is actually one of the most common owl species found in Missouri, and even in St. Louis County.
Okay, so you will find, I mean, screech owls in, where would you find them out?
Well, typically you're not going to see them, you're going to hear them, and their sound is, it's a bit of a misnomer. They don't really screech. Their sound is much more of a whistle kind of sound to it. But they are great at camouflaging themselves. You can see from his feather pattern and from the feathers on top of his head. If he wants to look like a twig, he's going to look like a twig. And so they can be very difficult to see. But you might hear them more
and
often.
What do you feed him, or what does he eat? Or
he also will eat rodent. But in the wild, these birds will eat crickets as well, and other insects of that size. So
that's fantastic. I mean, it's really, really great. And you have, is it 200 animals at the World Bird Sanctuary? Is that the correct number?
Over 200 animals.
And so that ranges from the owls to eagles?
We have eagles, owls, hawks, vultures. We have even non-raptor species. We also even have some non-bird species too, because that's all part of the balanced ecosystem.
So we've got Halloween coming up, the event Owloween coming up, and then just in general, what would you say to people just to get them to come out? What's the experience that they're going to have when they come to the World Bird Sanctuary?
It's going to be a lot of fun, and you'll even learn some things too.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
fantastic.
And-
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing the owls as well. We've got the information there for you on the screen. Go check it out. It's a Halloween-themed event out at the World Bird Sanctuary. It's called Owl-o-ween. It's a day that's filled with live animal shows, trick-or-treat, haunted hike, story time, photo opportunities, kids, games, and crafts, and they even have a raptique gift shop. More details can be found on the website at worldbirdsanctuary.org. And before I go, we have to mention you can be there at night. You can come at night.
Yes.
This is something separate. What is
we
Owl
have a
Prowls?
special program called the Owl Prowls. And so if for some reason on Halloween you don't get your owl fix, we have these programs multiple times every week from November through March. And you come visit us in the evening. We show you many of our owls. Some of them will even fly for you. And then we end with a short hike on our property to try and call in some wild ones.
Oh,
So,
very cool,
yeah.
very cool. Thank you both for being here. Thank you so much. Well, there's more STL Live right after this, so please stay with us. We'll be right back.